Hey guys, welcome back to your favorite podcast ever. So this week we're sitting with our good friend Carl Lee, and he started and managed multiple businesses. So he really knows what he's talking about. And we kind of just, you do. And we just wanted him to give you guys insight into being better leaders, better managers, whatever the case may be. So, Carl,
yes.
To start, tell us your story. How did you get into business?
Business probably, I grew up in an all-you-can-eat restaurant. That's what my parents came to this country, and that's what they started. So our family is owned 3 restaurants at this point. But I went from being in a small business to being in a large business. I worked at Best Buy retail. I worked at Apple retail. I'm here as a real estate brokerage, and it's just starting now, but I've literally covered everything and like to have eyes on everything that I can.
Awesome. So kind of go into detail about your experience or journey kind of with the restaurants, because that's kind of where you started off, right?
Yeah. So, in restaurants, everything's fast, right? You're in it as a team and playing together as a team. So I had the opportunity to kind of see how we function as a restaurant, as a team, and you take orders, you learn to play as a team. That's kind of really how a restaurant works. In terms of leadership, it's everything when inside of a restaurant is based on what the orders are in front of you. You just try to get through as many orders as you can, quickly as you can, at the highest quality you can. And that requires a lot of communication and a lot of trust in what the other person is doing.
So what made your parents want to get into the restaurant industry? Was it that they were just passionate about it, or
it's very, very stereotypical for Asian families to get into the restaurant business, to have a Chinese food place or whatever it is. So my mother owned a tea house in Taiwan. Then when she got here, she felt it natural to serve. So she went right into the restaurant business. Some fortune kind of went our way, and we were able to then take over the restaurant that she was in. And then from there, we grew and managed other restaurants along that path.
So when it comes to business, was it something that was like pretty much trained in you since you were like super young, or was it kind of like a journey for you?
To be honest, it wasn't. It wasn't something that I felt. I didn't feel like a leader per se, but I felt the need to change the way that we were doing things. And as I matured and got into my own way and found really in college, I was put in place to manage a couple of other things, and that became, wait a minute, if I can manage, then I can figure out how to lead, and that kind of developed in me.
So what were all like the manager positions you had? Like what were all those places?
Well, in college, I studied architecture, so everything's project based, right? So a lot of those projects were asked to be a leader in and say, what is this person doing? How are we delegating these certain tasks to get the project completed on time? And then I worked at the same time. I worked at a nonprofit organization called the Chicago Architecture Foundation, and we really kind of looked at how education was being taught at the high school level for Chicago public schools. At the time, everything was based on drafting. Could a person that wanted to be an architect in high school draft a floor plan? That's what it was built on. And we said, wait a minute, that's not what architecture is moving to. They're looking at the site. They're looking at all the environment conditions. They were doing site analysis, all of these different things. So how can we change the curriculum differently? So at the time, I was managing what the Architecture Foundation hosts every year. It was called the New House Competition, and they take entries from all across the Chicago public schools. Students enter their entries, and it's to render something or draft something, but we introduced this idea of creating their own project, building their own house, and paying respects to Chicago limits that are in place. 2.5-foot setbacks, all these things. They had to work inside of those conditions and how to build a better house, which ends up being all the smart houses that we have now. So, but yeah.
So kind of to expand on that a little bit,
Sure.
what would you say is your managerial style or your leadership style? Because a lot of entrepreneurs, they get into business and, they just want to make money, but they don't realize that you have to lead before you can ever turn a profit. So what is your style when it comes to management?
I have a strong belief that if you invest in the people and trust the people in their particular field, whatever that it is that they're good at, if you trust them and allow them to do whatever they're good at, then you'll turn a better profit. Turn a better product and ultimately a better profit. And what that really kind of says is if you're running a big business, say for example, Apple retail or Best Buy retail, when you're I don't want to get into the verbiage that every one of those industries uses, but if your operations team is very, very specific about how they can deliver a product, you have to trust that they know how that should be delivered. If it's organizational, a manager, a store leader, or a manager that kind of worries about the HR team shouldn't be the one that goes in there and says, hey, you should organize the shelves like this. It doesn't make any sense. Trust the team of what they know that they're doing, and then everything else will kind of work out itself.
Yeah, and it's really cool that you mentioned that, because the other day we were actually talking and you said if a business is not succeeding, if there's some type of struggle within inside of the corporation, a lot of times it's because of trust or communication.
Yeah, it's really that simple. For me, it's really that simple. If there's a failure in any type of relationship, whether it's boyfriend, girlfriend, manager, boss, employee, other employee, it's really based on do I trust the other employee to do what has been asked of them? Just the same as when you're at the Apple store and you hand a phone over to a technician, you expect that technician to be able to kind of explain to the customer why something is not working. And if I don't trust that technician, I can't faithfully hand that over. And it's just that simple. So we trust the training, trust the communication, and we kind of hopefully we'll go from there.
Yeah. So how do you implement like that style in your restaurant, and then how do you implement that into your brokerage?
Yeah, it's really, we find out what people are good at, what they want to do. If somebody comes to me and says, "Hey, I want to learn how to make advertisers. I want to know what that looks like." Absolutely, we'll put you there and we go through the basics. If that's not what you want to do, then we change, we adjust. It's better to find a place, have a deeper relationship with that employee before sticking them somewhere and saying you have to learn how to do this, you have to learn how to do that. It's not a good environment. If a person says, I don't want to take tables, then it makes no sense for me to put you on the floor, because you're never going to bring a smiling face to the customers that come in the door. As a leader, what I find more and more to be true is that we have to work for our employees. Even though, yes, maybe my name is on the board with the building, whatever it may be, I work for the employee. If they tell me that they want to do something, or if they have a problem at home, I have to solve that problem. That's my problem. That's my task. So that they can be comfortable enough to solve whatever service, provide whatever product that we have to an external customer.
And that's really amazing too, because like, in this day and age, a lot of people are trying to get into business and trying to become entrepreneurs because, they don't want to work for a boss. And it's kind of funny hearing you say that, oh, you still work for somebody, but it's just a different type of work. And I don't know the way that you think about it.
Yeah, it's interesting because I get to choose who I work for, right? Like that's the key component of the luxury of being a leader, right? The luxury of being a businessman and the luxury of being an entrepreneur. You pick who you work with. If you don't like the person that you're working with, you have the ability to fire them. Yes, there are consequences. There are relationship breaks that happen. but that's something that you're allowed to do. When you go work at Apple Retail, you don't really get to choose who they hire. You don't choose who's ahead of you. You don't choose who's behind you. You don't have those choices. But the more you go higher up in rank, the more deeper relationship you have to have with the people that are working for you.
And so, going back to what you said about trust before, what are some times in your different organizations that you were in that you had to learn to trust? Was it something that came natural to you, or is it something that you had to learn over time?
Yeah. I mean, there's the old adage of don't trust anybody because they're going to take advantage of you, and that's just always rubbed wrong with me. I think innately human beings, I mean, that's more philosophical, but I think human beings are good by nature. They're not violent. They're not, I mean, we have, since the nuclear weapon, right? We were able to blow up the entire world, but we haven't. That kind of goes to show that maybe human beings are actually not that bad. And because I prefer to trust until something goes wrong, then I adjust. I think that allows more things to, I feel like the person has the ability to kind of go from there and kind of show you what they're good at, right? And then it's up to you to be able to use that tool appropriately.
And then you also mentioned like going deeper into the relationship with your employees. And we actually talked about that the other day. You were giving us like advice on how to talk to our employees once we get the salon. So could you talk about that a little bit, about how that conversation will look and things to ask?
Absolutely. I mean, when you're taking over a business, especially if you're taking over a business, the thing that I would love to do is sit down with every single employee and simply ask, why are you here? What's brought you here? What makes you get up and come to this workplace every single day? If you can create a deeper relationship with the employees and they can tell you why they're here, you can get them to a place where they'll work for you forever, because it's just a deeper connection. When you know why somebody else is doing something, you can help them along that process. And when you become a cheerleader or a support system or a team member of their own project, whatever it is, if it's something personal, if it's getting their kid an additional Christmas present or whatever, that becomes something that they will take invaluably and will always remember. And it just makes for a happier employee. A lot of times big companies don't listen to their employees. They ask for feedback, but they don't act on the feedback. And that's when I see a lot of people leave their businesses and say, the leadership team didn't hear what I wanted to say. To be honest, most times I left places because I wasn't being heard. That's just the way that it goes.
Yeah, and it's really crazy too, because if you think about it, like, there's been times where you told me like maybe somebody's motivation is to just get that extra Christmas present. And it's like, you can't find any time, any money or any way to help this person just get the extra Christmas present. And I feel like a small business owner, that's a fairly easy task to do. And some, big corporations, they just don't necessarily put in the time in order to do that. And I just find like
it's mind-blowing that certain things like that should happen, right? I don't know if you guys, this is actually like news that happened yesterday. I don't know if you guys watched HQ, the trivia show that's on your phone. Well, the CEO at the time, Scott Rogowski, is not leaving the company. He was the only one that was doing the trivia. He was the only one presenting the trivia. But he decided to leave because he wanted to do another side project. They wouldn't let him do it. So he said, great, I'm the face of this, I'm going to walk away. And it was just like, how are you going to let that happen? He's literally the face of it. Right? And he's now up and gone. He's probably, I do the trivia every now and again, and he's my favorite host. He has a lot of passion for it, he's a lot of flair, he's got a lot of, he's got the gift of God. So that works in his favor. But I can't imagine HQ without him. I just simply can't. And so it's a loss of equity. A lot of fans are going to be like, I don't want to do this anymore.
Yeah. That's like Steve Harvey leaving Steve Harvey.
Right. It just doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, for sure. And I can see that doing a lot of damage.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
As well.
Yeah, I mean, brand equity is all you really have, right? Like if some brands operate autonomously, right? Without the CEO, they function on their own. A lot of folks don't know who the CEO of Adidas is, but you feel like you know what the brand looks like, right? But Apple, for example, was entirely built on Steve Jobs. When he left, it was like, well, wait a minute, what's going on? And thankfully, Tim Cook is kind of building his own way. You know, you're feeling a little bit more attached to it, because that's kind of what it's been built on. But could you imagine, you know, if Steve Jobs just left Apple in the middle of Apple's hype? That would be insane.
Yeah, it would have.
Yeah, and someone, well, actually, Ben from our last podcast, he was talking to us about that, to kind of have a separate like personal brand, and then also to like have a business brand. So I think that would help like tremendously, you know, if you do want to part ways,
right?
It's not
very
based on
accurate,
you.
right? Like if we look at Elon Musk, for example, Elon Musk after essentially PayPal, right, had nothing. Even though he wanted to get into space, his mission was to go to Mars. He wanted the human race to be a planet farming generational thing. He wanted ultimately that to be the goal. But a lot of people looked at him and said, who's this bank guy coming to us saying that he wants to build a rocket? That doesn't make any sense. But then when he doubled down on Elon Musk, anytime Elon Musk does anything, it becomes, yeah, absolutely you would do that.
Right.
You know, like with the roofing, absolutely. Whatever it is. Just doesn't make any sense, but it works.
Yeah. So leading up to that, what are some common misconceptions that people have about being a manager of a business, or even just a general leader of a business?
I think a lot of folks think you work on your own hours, right? But to be honest, you're in the firefight. Like as soon as you wake up, sometimes even before you wake up, somebody may send you a text message, and guess what? That's your problem to solve, and you've got to do that all the time. And so a lot of people want the entrepreneur life, but they don't realize that it's actually a firefighting life. You answer the call every time it rings. I think that's a big misconception for a lot of people that are wanting to be entrepreneurs. Another one is the idea that I work for nobody. I think we touched on that briefly before. It's this idea of, I just sit on the beach all day and don't work for anybody. Whenever you hire somebody, you absolutely have to understand everything, or they're gonna up and walk, and then you'll have nothing.
Okay, so the next question is, who is your ideal employee and why?
Oh, that's a good question. Ideal employee really comes down to, there are really so many ways to go about it, but I like somebody that knows what they want out of life, is self-aware enough, but also if you don't know that, if you don't have the advantage of that, the willingness to explore. I think self-awareness means so much more. If you're willing to go, I don't know if I like that, but I'll try it. I think that is entirely different. I would trust, for example, in the restaurant business, I trust somebody else's food palate that's tried a lot of different things than somebody that only eats a specific thing to judge a certain food a certain way. I don't think that's I would prefer that type of employee instead. One that's willing to try.
So, since you said that, it made me think of like high schoolers, because high schoolers can work. So like, would you be opposed to hiring like high schoolers, or do you want like your employees to be a little bit more stable in life, or what do you think?
I think it's more open. High school, unfortunately, has degraded, and I was on another podcast about this, but has degraded enough where it's trying to get you into a job. But high schoolers are in that time when they're trying to figure out who they are. Literally, that's what coming of age stories are all about. So I would love to take a chance on high schoolers. I think there's a big delta. I think kids that are brand new in college are great because they're the ones that are told that, hey, figure out your next life, when in fact they're a quarter of the way done on average life expectancy. So I think it's better to get somebody that's more valuable, that you can say, hey, try this. Maybe they're not good at it, fine, but find something else for them.
And I think it's great that you're kind of open to that too, because I've seen a lot of people kind of just throw away talent just because it was young and it hasn't been conformed yet. And it's just crazy, like, to see the difference between who I am now and who I was 3 years ago. It's like night and day, but it was only in the span of 3 years, and I'm pretty sure I could have added tons of value to like companies that didn't necessarily hire me.
Yeah,
So, but
I think that's absolutely true. I think a lot of times we miss what's directly in front of us. But when we start to ask the employees what they want, sure, some demands are going to be outrageous, right? That comes with the territory. But if you can find the heart of why they're asking for what they're asking, then you might actually find something that works for the both of us. So I think that's always going to be the case. Yeah.
So our next question is really, what do you think are some key principles that you've learned along the way that have really helped you become this leader in multiple companies?
Yeah, I think one of the main things is you have to kind of trust the process. You have to, when you're hiring somebody, you go through that process of hiring, and you sure you have a regimented system, but at the same time, you make mistakes. You're a human being. So you have to kind of own up to those mistakes. I always had the mentality that everything is my fault. And being a CEO, owner, whatever, founder, whatever you want to call it, it is all your fault. You hired the person at the end of the day. Even if somebody did something wrong, if they installed mounted the TV a little too far to the left, that's your fault. If you didn't accurately describe where you wanted it, if you just said, oh yeah, put the TV up, right? It's at every one of those details. Yeah.
And I think a lot of people, when they get into business, they don't necessarily understand what you just said, because basically what he's saying is that when you get into business, like, everything is really on your shoulders in some way, shape, or form. And I tell people, if you are willing to take the blame of a lot of those things, maybe this just isn't necessarily for you.
Tough. It's tough to be the last line of defense, so to speak, but also the one that answers all of the questions. Yeah. Yes, I'm in most of my companies, I'm not the smartest person in the room. I don't want to be. If I was the person that knew how to better do something, maybe I need a hire to replace that role. That's what it should always be.
Yeah. And that takes a lot of humility to know that you're not the smartest person.
That's why self-aware is.
Yeah. And Gary Vee, as well as David Meltzer, also preached about being self-aware a lot, and that's why I like a lot of the things that they talk about. But yeah, it's just I feel like entrepreneurship is one of those things that is like the suckiest, most fulfilling thing that you could ever do in life.
I mean, I never see the downside, because you're always doing what you want, right? Like that's the strong part, right? Like if you don't want to do it, you can pack everything up and sell it. You can get rid of it and close it all down if it's not making, if it's not fulfilling you. Why do it on a daily basis? It doesn't make any sense. So
a funny question
is,
what is the most embarrassing thing that's happened to you in business?
In business is tough, because I've never really embarrassment is always something that I don't get bashful. I see mistakes, I make mistakes, but I'm always very, very honest with them. Like, yeah, that's my fault. So I haven't really necessarily, I guess the moment where I felt it's actually outside of business, but I was in a Spartan race and I was quote unquote leading a team, and on the second obstacle I broke my foot. And so everybody's looking at me like, you're supposed to lead us. And I'm like, well, guess what? You guys are gonna have to finish this out.
Newsflash.
So I mean, that's the only time where I'll get bashful or embarrassed about something. But like, I just know it comes with the territory, and it's just like, well, all right, if you don't know what it is, then great, we'll figure it out. You know.
So you are on the Abundant Culture podcast.
Absolutely.
And we're Abundant Culture.
Right.
So my question to you is, how do you spread abundance?
I try to teach perspective. I think everybody, whenever there's a case that, oh, I can't do it. If an artist came to me and says, hey, I can't break it in music. All of these other people are doing really, really well, and I'm not. It's not like a listener to music like me is choosing this person or this person, right? It's that perspective of, if your music is good enough, you'll break through. You just have to figure out what you're good at. And I think that's how I'm trying to teach it every day to everybody. Is that just because I work in the restaurant industry, and somebody always opens up a similar restaurant near mine, they're not taking customers from me. If it's the idea that they are opening up their palate, that's great for all of us. It's the spreading of this type of food. I love that. Why not bring it on? And at the end of the day, if I'm going to get surpassed by somebody else, if I ever compare it like that, it's because I was too stagnant in what I was doing. I didn't change anything, didn't add anything, didn't adjust. So it's not worth it to kind of dwell on those things that are shortcomings, so to speak.
I thought we were alternating.
Oh yeah, definitely. So you have this brokerage. You also have a restaurant.
Right.
Are those your only two right now, or do you have?
Well,
Because I know you did consulting at one point in time.
well, we still kind of do it more on the side. What we want to do is, at the end of the day, my goal as a person, I want to take people that are doing what they love and showing them how to scale. And if they don't know what they love to do, then I think it's actually rooted in something of the past, and we can actually bring it to light. We can figure out what that is and set you on a path that works in your favor. I think there's just so much opportunity, you know. I mean, if somebody can just the same, you talked about this briefly, but somebody can just the same create like a Lego blog on building custom Legos, and then you could, I mean, if one path is to work for Lego, fantastic, right? Or if it's one path is to review Lego sets, that's another path. You can make, there's so much opportunity. You can make money doing that on the channels of Instagram, on YouTube, whatever it may be. But you then can be in the middle of a person that does your own sets and maybe one day designs and builds your own company around that idea. There is so many ways you can go. And I think that's what we love to empower people to do. If they love something, double down on it, because there's an opportunity for you to make a profit out of that. If you're good at something, never do it for free.
And I think a lot of people don't necessarily understand that point as well. Like, everybody's trying, to
be a number one.
Yeah, everybody's trying to like kind of chase the dollar, and they think that their passion is not necessarily something that can make money.
Right.
And
it's just not true.
It's not true at all. Like, I've seen guys literally make money at so many different things. I used to like spoken word poetry when I was younger. I was like, oh, I'm not gonna make any money at that. So
we kept on being told that we want to make money.
Right.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, we have a person playing video games, roughly 8 hours a day.
Right. making like $2 million a year.
Almost like $5 million a year, you know, and it's just like, how is that person? Well, that's because there's opportunity.
Yeah, sure.
And it's just a matter of time. Sometimes you're ahead of the curve, right? Sometimes you're just that far ahead of everybody else. But at the end of the day, what makes people want to play and watch esports is because we did that as kids.
Yeah.
We went over to somebody's house, we gathered in a circle while they were playing Mario Kart, and we're like, "You're terrible at this game. Let me take over," right? And we would compete, and that's what kind of defined it. So I think if there isn't a door for it now, there certainly will be in time. And I just think that all the doors are open, though. For sure.
Some people think it's wrong too, though, wrong to monetize on their passions.
Yeah, I'm curious as to why that's the case. Because nobody yells at me if I'm really, really good at making a specific dish and selling it. Nobody's mad about that, right? But if for whatever reason I'm a really good artist and I charge for making a print, people are like, "Whoa, wait a minute. What's up with that?" Like, how is that? That's not the same.
Yeah. But it's like, it kind of, for me, it goes back to the abundant mindset. Like, you know, I literally, I got to tell everybody, I got robbed the other day. Not really, like, not literally robbed, but it was this kid, and she was selling, like, chocolates out of, I forget where we were, but we were somewhere downtown, and she was selling, you know, boxes of chocolates or whatever, and she was selling them, you know,
It was like the world's finest chocolates.
Yeah.
The ones that are usually $1.
Yeah. I walked up to her, I was like, "How much?" And then she was like, $4. I was like, "Oh." Yeah, and I was like, "Man, I just want to support her though."
Right?
So I ended up spending $4 for like a piece of candy, basically.
You know, that happens a lot too. Like whenever I see somebody like at a state fair selling water or something like that, and they're charging $2, and I'm like, I don't know how much you bought that water for,
Right.
But I love the mentality, right? I love at least they're doing that instead of something else, right? That may have been illegal or whatever, like,
or something that makes them unhappy.
Yeah. I would rather them do that than being miserable Monday through Friday, like a lot of the rest of the world.
Yeah,
I would rather see that.
Yeah. And I know, like, the way I kind of think about it a lot of times is that if I don't necessarily care what somebody charges, I more so care about the value that whatever they charge actually, you know, provides for me.
Right?
So, like, kind of like you said with the artists, you know, people get upset with them because they charge. I think people really got to look inside themselves and think, all right, am I thinking out of scarcity or am I thinking out of abundance? Which is like, if you really want this item and you really like this person, just buy it, because all prices are essentially made up.
Yeah,
nobody really.
The market always decides, right? You know, a lot of entrepreneurs will come to me and say, "How should I price my item?" And I will argue, if you can do it, price it for free until the market decides, wait a minute, doesn't actually work. My girlfriend's little sister bakes banana bread, and it's fantastic. It tastes fantastic. But we broke down the numbers on how much she should price it. But I said, at the end of the day, if we want to get it out to as many people as possible, you price it as low as possible. Because how many downloads is a free app going to get versus an app that's charged at $10?
Free app is good.
Right.
Yeah.
Now look at that versus a $1 app versus a $10 app. How many times is that $1 app going to get downloaded?
Way.
Right? So it's the opportunity to go viral, right? More at bats, more in the hands of more people. If Instagram charged $5 for the app, nobody would use it.
That is true. Yeah.
But if it's like it is, free and doesn't have any ads, and they figured out their ad platform later on, everybody uses it. I mean, it's one of those things that you get in like the social network, right? Do we monetize this? How do we advertise this? And Facebook's saying, just keep it free. It's the illusion that it's worth $1 billion. Eventually it will be, you know, if it isn't there now.
So that pretty much concludes all the main questions. So our final question is, how do people get in contact with you? Because I'm sure they've heard like just a tiny bit of what they want to hear.
I'm probably most active on Twitter. Just anybody that asks me, but my social media name is Mr_Carl_Lee on everything. MR_CRL_LE. Everything. Instagram, Twitter, Facebook.
Do you mind telling the audience also where your restaurant is? So because they have like, I've never tasted I've never had that type of food before I met him, and most of the stuff I still don't know what it's called.
It's like Asian pancake.
But I know it was delicious. So you probably aren't gonna know what you want. Something on there is gonna jump out to you.
Yeah. So the restaurant's in Shockbrook. It's called Topho, Topho. And we serve basically half of my family is Vietnamese and the other half is Taiwanese. So that's what makes our menu. And then obviously as a real estate brokerage, I'm here in Chicago. We do most of our multifamily investing up here. We help clients find buildings. We look at value add stuff, full gut rehabs, and really just the analysis on whether or not a building cash flows. And that's at NXT Realty.
Nice.
Yeah.
So you guys have gotten a wealth of knowledge today. And yeah, go connect with Carl on like all the social media platforms because he can go on and on. We have like 3-hour conversations sometimes just about so much more. And he will definitely be on another podcast because we want you to talk about how to differentiate yourself in the industry because he can talk about that. So yes, thank you very much for being on. And we'll see you guys next week.
Later.
Bye.
Bye.